Great evening. Welcome to Why Should I Be Ashamed, where we have a great combo. I'm excited tonight. We have a great guest. We have the Bishop David Denson Jr. And I'm going to let him introduce himself tonight. I wanted to hear from a male's perspective, and here he is with us. Bishop.
Well, God bless you. My name is Dr. David Denson Jr. I'm Bishop of Burning Bush Baptist Church, where the church where God loved Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. That be us. Glad to be here. All you on Facebook, tap in right now. We're live. Make sure you can get in and let know what we're doing. It's going to be a great conversation. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, please like and share. And those of you that have the book, we're going to be reading from page 110, and we'll be right back with you. We're going to give you a few minutes to invite your guests, your friends. See you in a minute. Great evening. We're back. Welcome to Why Should I Be Ashamed? Thank you so much for inviting your friends, and please like and share. I am Sheila Calvert. I am the author of Why Should I Be Ashamed? Tonight we have a great guest. We have Bishop David Denson Jr. from Victorville, and we are so excited. I wanted to have a fatherly, a male perspective, an experienced perspective on sexual abuse. I do want to allow him to introduce himself once again to you all.
Well, God bless you. My name is Bishop David Denson Jr., and I am pastor of the Burning Bush Church in Victorville, California, where God loves Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. We've been here about 25 years serving in the high desert, and we're just glad to still be in the midst. We're a church that's Christ-centered, word-focused, and ministry-minded, changing people, changing families, changing communities, and yes, changing nations.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about my introduction to Bishop. He officiated our daughter and his spiritual son's wedding on last year. The time went so fast. Was it last year?
Yeah, yes.
And we also had the honor to go to his consecration service in Victorville. We had an amazing time. We went to the gala. We got to wear our sequins. And I tell you, they operated in the spirit of excellence and order. Then we got to go to this day's service. So we've had just a great experience with you, Bishop, and we are honored to have you here with us tonight. We appreciate you taking the time.
It was a joy having you all there, and you were so hospitable while we were there at your home, and just looked like it just fit. And so we thank God for the relationship and the kinship spirit.
Yes. Also, he came and preached at our church that Sunday morning after the wedding. And anytime Pastor Calvert get lost for words, or Sister Sheila get lost for words, I tell you, it was an awesome time, Bishop. Awesome. It just shut me down. So we thank you for that experience. So bless tonight, you. Bishop, I realize the climate that we're in America. There's a war against black men all over the world. I am in no way laying this world issue at the feet of black men. So let's be clear. Sexual abuse is not a black man's problem. It is a people problem. White, Asian, Mexican, every nationality has that issue. People of all walks of life have either had or have heard of some person that has experienced sexual abuse. Would you agree with that, Bishop?
Wholeheartedly. It surely is across the board. It's not by race, it's about sin. And sin doesn't have a color. It has one color, and that is ugly.
So either they've been a perpetrator or victimized, or they know someone who has. No one can escape this topic. Tonight, I really wanted to address the issue of our sons, our boys, and I really believe it takes a man to speak to that. I'm not trying to male bash. I'm not trying to ostracize or put them aside, but I just really wanted a fatherly male to talk about at what age should a parent have a discussion with our sons about sex, the dreadful conversation that everybody hates to have. What age, Bishop?
If it was in my day or when I raised my kids, I would have said 8th or 9th grade. But with the information that's on the internet and how they're teaching our kids nowadays, I think when that kid get ready to go into junior high school, around 6th grade, you need to start having that discussion already, because they've already framed, if not the activity, the picture is already there. It's on their phone. It's everywhere you go. It's every movie that they see. So they already have a frame. They just don't have the real picture. It's a copy.
True. Well, this might be a little bit off the subject, but I was listening to someone talk about LBGT or whatever, and they're saying they're telling little kids at 5 years old about their identity. So that's just one thought that we know we have in the atmosphere. You got a 5-year-old they come and tell you that they feel like they're a boy or girl. Nothing to do with our subject tonight. Just wanted to throw that in there. Also, there's always been a double standard about talking about sex with our daughters. Because as soon as we potty train them, the next thing we're telling them, cross your legs, put your dress down,
Right.
don't play in the dirt in the sand, watch the little boys. I don't know if you guys are waiting too late to talk to these boys. You said at 8th grade?
Well, I said back in my day.
Okay, you're right. What does that mean, Bishop?
I mean, I was born in '59, so you probably had a conversation. We didn't see all that. We had to go out to the garage and find a tool shed to find a Hustler magazine. But now all you do is push the phone now and they got it. So surely they're already teaching in elementary, the LGBTQ and all of that exposure is already there. So I would concur with you that we need to even do that at an earlier age. The question is, how do we do that across the board in the church and outside the church, and then the African American home when they've not been taught properly how to communicate something that they don't even know their kids know about?
Well, that's the question for all of us, and that's the discussion, because oftentimes it seems that we make our bodies such an embarrassment, and I think that's one of the problems. It depends. Okay, now I'm from Detroit.
Right.
Classic Motown sound. I get that.
Well.
Then we went to Chicago, to the hood.
Oh, Lord.
To the ghetto.
Yeah.
That's my mother's, the guy that she was with for 18 years. So in that environment, the education level that I was in Chicago, those men didn't even have 9th grade education.
Right.
So I think the different demographics is probably going to speak to what we're saying to kids across in these different communities. Because in our community in Chicago, in Detroit, they didn't even talk about sex. We just went to church. But when I got to Chicago, everything was hypersexual. Drug sex. So there's going to be a different depending on who the teacher is and who the student is.
Well, I could understand that. That's a good point to talk about because demographics and geographical location will determine exactly what one is exposed to.
Yes.
I was not brought into a major city like that, so I would have a different experience. It might be a slow. So I don't believe it's a one size fit all.
Yes,
I believe the fact that you go to the bookstore or you go to the shoe store and you have to find the size that fit you or fit your kid and make sure it fits them for where they're at. You don't take sandals out to the snow. You wear snow boots. All
Yes.
right. So it must be a place or must be a way that we have to experience and make sure we're fostering our children in the environment that they're part of.
Okay, I'm back to these boys though.
You're right.
I'm just be down there. They nasty. They just be nasty, Bishop. I mean, us little girls, we be all prissy and with our little go-rags and here come that little nasty boy. Who's supposed to teach him something? Because y'all, I think you're waiting too late. I mean, help me out here.
Well,
they don't have fathers. I'm sorry, Bishop, to cut you off. Most of the time, there's no father in the home.
Right.
We lay a lot at our pastor's feet. I mean, I remember being a single woman coming into church and looking to the pastor, the only positive male figure, and 500 church members, he trying to father us.
Right.
So, what do we do with the little nasty boys?
Well, I believe the fact
y'all
that
blame it on the girls. I'm sorry.
I don't blame it on the girls. I admit that we're nasty. Okay? But let's all let it be clear. We've been taught to be nasty. Name me one movie or one show that they didn't teach the boy to be nasty.
True.
That didn't just come out of our house. That came out of our society.
Propaganda.
Even today. All right? It's all about the little boy. I mean, there's a new show called The Shy in City, with three little boys trying to grow up in Chicago.
Yes.
And they all have different intellect and all have different views. But society taught us to be flirtatious. You're supposed to go chase the girl, you're supposed to pull their hair, you're supposed to try to raise up their dress, you're supposed to put a mirror on the bottom of your shoe and walk up, all right, and look underneath the dress and all that. I'm not saying that I did that, but I am saying I'm aware of it.
Yeah, sure. So, what my problem is, on a serious note, is that
yes, ma'am.
Somebody got to speak to it, Bishop. I think we need some new plans. I remember taking my sons to Boy Scout, but they was teaching them about the woods and how to hunt. But I think as fathers, as parents, as guardians, we need to teach our sons a more respectful way of handling girls, women, just really from the little boy's perspective. I think the conversation needs to be a little bit more intense.
Well, let's look at it this way. I believe the fact that surely it must be done that way and it needs to be reconciled, but also we must understand the fact that man in the house or that man outside the house, all right, is where it's not to be taught at. We're not taught to save ourselves. We teach our daughters to save themselves.
Yes.
Because boys can't get pregnant in their view. But if a girl is pregnant, you're pregnant too. Right. So the idea is the fact that we must get back to the point that this incarceration of men being out of the home inside jail cells, trying to teach a boy how to be a gentleman, you taught that by your mama and by your sisters. I didn't have to engrade it in my boys to be gentlemen. My daughter is the oldest, and I wish you would. I wish you would go inside that bathroom. I wish you would touch her in the wrong spot. I wish you would push her heavy. So this we taught chivalry, loving and honoring women. They're not taught that because it's not demonstrated. My boys know how to love a woman because I love my wife. And because I treat my wife with a certain respect and a certain honor, it's mandatory that you do my daughter the same way. And somebody else's daughter. That's what got to be taught. We're not giving it to just one person. It's our job to teach all young black men how to be respectful, open the car door. I'm surprised now when I see men don't open car door for women, even now. But independent women don't want to be women no more. I get my
I
own
don't
done.
know now.
And so that boy, I know, I know some of us, but I'm talking about the other ones. All right, remote control. So we have to teach it from our homes where we raised. And I believe the fact that my 4 boys know how to treat a woman because how I treat Lori, and then how I honor my daughter, and they are her defender, not her surrender.
Thank you. That was awesome. And I think that's what a lot of girls, daughters, sons, what we are missing. And I think that also opened that door for allowing our children to be sexual abused because we don't have that, which is going to take me to the next question, is the protector. Our fathers represented to us our protector. Being a protector of his family protects something. And as a young lady with a single mother that didn't choose good men,
Right.
I didn't have that protection. And that's what's missing in our household. Everybody's coming in. And then as single women or single men too, we get desperate and just desperate for love for ourselves, not considering our children. And we bring in these sheep in with clothing. We bring in even some of our children. They're having issues with like I think I used to foster children sometimes. Those children had issues, so they come in and inflict their issues on your children. So how do, if we don't have protectors, what do we do, Bishop?
I believe the fact that that's when the church has to be in order to be able to share with single mothers or what we have inside our church to bring other godly men around and understand there's wolves in sheep clothing no matter where you go. But if we knew the signs of the wolf, all right, if we knew the indicators that the wolf have, what it smelled like, what it looked like, what it walked like, kind of question that they ask you, then we can protect one another. But we have to find a way to be able to instruct it from the pulpit to the usher door to the parking lot. That, like what we do in our church, we have young men in the parking lot because we want them to get used to opening the door for a woman. All right. So little bitty tools and guidelines that we have. And like you said to the, oh yeah, thank you. Lord, yeah. You said that sometimes we want love for ourselves and we let our guard down trying to get what we want, and we let a wolf or a fox in the hen nest. And that turns around and affect our children. Sometimes they don't know even like now until they're older. So it's important for us to be able to boys to men, some kind of program, and getting boys part of a program that will make them hold their head up and go to a historical black college to graduate themselves. Because we do this, and it's our failure as a society, especially as black men. We're proud when our young men bring a pretty girl home. That means that they got this, they got it going on. I raised them right. Well, you said that because you couldn't get a pretty one, so you want him to have one. But you didn't teach him how to respect the pretty one. Didn't teach him how to love the pretty one. Didn't teach how to honor the pretty one. Didn't teach them how to go home and get permission from the mama or from the daddy before you date them or speak to them. So the principles of on was not being taught. The conditioning is being taught because TV tells us what to do. Rap song tells us what to do. The music tells us, look, even in our day, let's get it on. everything pushes us to that one sexual or that nature of us that does not make marriage. And anybody know you've been married long enough, amen, you might jump out like a rabbit, amen, but later on, you sound like a cow.
Need
Moo, just
something.
begging.
Well, let me also say this. I noticed that what is happening also is because the female, the grandmothers are raising our males, they're taking on the more feminine attribute. They don't have the masculinity.
Mama.
You can't do it all. Pastor
Right.
can't do it all. We gotta find some way to put some masculinity into our sons. I don't know how to teach a man how to be a man, a boy how to be a man. All I, I'm dependent.
Yeah, that's surely a problem and a challenge. Raising 4 boys, they have this tendency to mimic their mothers regardless. And if a man doesn't break that cycle, court, then he'll keep on wearing house shoes. All right, he'll keep on wearing the heels, things of that nature, and teach it. They don't teach it. Boys don't play with dolls. But in this new society, these boys do play with dolls. So we got to get back to our culture as African American men, where we are brought to be kings and to be priests of our home and put that factor back in. My sons, even my 5-year-old, my grandson, just got here a little while ago, and when he comes over and when he wants something, he bows down and talks like a little girl when he wants something. But then when he don't, he talks loud. You can't get nothing from me unless you speak up. Say loud, say loud. No louder. Now, I probably should say this on Facebook Live, but my one son used to talk so long, I make him walk around holding the balls until he has the face. That comes clear. I reached out, you got a paradigm now, speak with some volume, put some bass in that voice. And I had to teach him, in fact, there was a time to say something and there's a time to do something, but masculinity is part of the nature of who you are. Don't devalue that.
Wow. Well, I also have something I wanted to ask you. Has the black man been silenced in our family, in our communities, in the world around us?
I don't think that they've been silenced. Yeah, I don't think they've been silent. I think they've been taken away. We don't have voices in the black community like we did before. Used to be able to run down to the block and you knew exactly what that Mr. Johnson was going to do for you. You know, if you went took your bottles down there, he would give you a nickel for your bottle, and you went to the store and you had to go find the bottle and then go to the store and get the cookies, candy. The principles are gone because what? Everything is at their feet. They don't have to go nowhere. They don't have to do nothing. All they have to do is get a Nintendo game and play with it. And it's murder and killing. No honor, no respect. Nothing is teaching them how to open the door for a woman. My boys had better open that door for their mom. She better not grab a door. My daughter better not grab a door. Because what? Those principles were put in there. So with mass incarceration and black man going from the family, how do you teach from jail?
Wow, that is so real. Also, I have noticed, and it's too familiar, that when a woman is mishandled, raped, abused, not a brother or uncle, oftentimes, not all the time, says a word. That's why I was asking you how they were silent. There's a man cold. She's loud. She's strong. She'll get over it. I mean, Maya, I read this book. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Maya Angelou. I know why the Kate Bernstein. Her uncles heard that she had been raped, and that man came up missing. I'm not saying that we sentence everybody to death, because that was a crime. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is that something in my community, and I'm feeling this thing because for me, nothing was ever done. Everybody hush up the next day, shut up, and everyone is angry with me. Even still in the world today of my family, they're angry with me for crying out. My mother told me to go before the judge and shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't tell the judge. And I was so disappointed. Nobody fought for me. Nobody. Can you take these people, these family members, and have a conversation with your? If you hear something like that in your family, isn't it the responsibility of the family and say, let's sit down and let's talk? This is not. I think you should have took them to the woods, but that's a crime.
Well, I agree with you right there. And back in the day, and it's amazing how we lose our identity by our location. And what we try to get away from our neighborhoods when the neighborhood is what used to serve and protect us. I mean, you got a whooping on at school, and you pass your big mama's house, you got a whooping. And then by the time you got a house, you got another whooping. So you got a triple. You got the paddle at school. You got a whooping cause your grandma kept you till your mama got off. You got a home cause you got in trouble. You got another trouble by your mom or your daddy. But we don't have the community that we once had. The church is no longer being the church it used to be. We come for praise, worship, take up offering, and go home. But we're not building anything that allows people to have some sense of ownership and accountability and responsibility. Back in the day, where I grew up in Texas, if that would have happened, we had a field. And you'd have been in that field. All right, because the uncles and everybody else would have got you. But now it's silent because of the fact that we picked up, let me say it we picked up some nature and characteristics of other races that we never did that before. I just saying that out of what I know. All right, because I did this series about a couple months ago before the COVID hit, and it was dealing with emotions. You would be surprised how many 75 to 80-year-old women came up to me and confessed that they've been raped. Because I deal with it by the subject matter, I deal with the purifying, and the cleansing of it. But I'm talking about elderly mothers in my church that never told anybody. And they walked up and told me in my heart to cry. Because here's someone 30 years older than I am and cried against me, saying, you helped me get delivered from that. Now I know that God was my fault. I know that God has forgiven me, but I couldn't tell nobody about it. And it's amazing. So my point is, we must make the church a hospital that people can go and get their needs met, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. And we've taken away because we don't have Black communities anymore. We got out the neighborhood, got a big house, and now we don't speak to the neighbors that we have because they're not like us. But we finally made it to the B side, moving up like the Jeffersons. We got where the Jeffersons are and don't know what to do. So where's the community?
Wow.
What do you think?
That is so right. And I've heard that so many times from women. We had a pajama party once, and this 70-year-old lady, she said, I've never told nobody, but when I was a girl in school, 3 boys raped me. But can you imagine what that did to every relationship, to her parenting skills, to her respect for her pastors? Hard to relate to men, mad at men. A lot of us come to church, we're angry at father figure. We may, if you got a good church mother, we might submit to her, but we won't submit to them because we're suspicious. I sit around, and the statistics say 1 out of every 4. I sit around and count. If I see 8 men, I'll be like 1, 2, 3. Well, one of them is something. Just the psychological effect that it has. But it does a heart good to hear you take a stand, to hear men take a stand and say that can't happen on my watch. Because there's women out there tonight that is listening, and Bishop is speaking to all of us, for all of us, and that brings the breakthrough that and I'm about to cry, somebody cares. Somebody will stand up for us. And no, we don't want our great men to die and fight but I want them to say something. Let me know you got my back, because when I look out today at the black women who are standing out there on the front line, they're protesting for their sons, their brothers, their fathers. It's the black woman that has always been. And she did shut her mouth so you could live. She did shut her mouth. My mama shut her mouth so that man wouldn't go to jail. It didn't make it right. But the black woman, who's taking care of her, Bishop? And I thank you tonight for what you said. She had to pull up herself, her man, her single parent. She had to raise her black man child. Only to be left alone because we too loud, we too bold. I had to learn how to be humble for pastor so he could deal with it.
I do understand, but you know, it's the like what's happening right now in our society with COVID, with Floyd. It's being videoed now. What you're doing, you do what George Floyd did, and you just saying, I can't breathe no more. I can't breathe. I can't take it. So I'm not ashamed anymore, because a lot of folks are still ashamed and they're not breathing, and they're dying right there where they sit, in their silence, in their depression, in their alcoholism. They pick up all of these habits because of the fact, I got to find something to make me not feel it. And they don't know that the Bible said confession is good for the soul. And what you did by writing this novel, writing this storyline in detail, you're just saying, hey, this is it. I got to get it out. I'm one of those kind of person that if I can tell it, I can get delivered from it. But if I can't tell it, I have silent frustration. T.D. Jakes once said, locked in a room with open doors. That's what most women are. They're locked in a room with open doors. They've been scared to touch the door. It's been unlocked a long time. But when you've been hurt and you've been abused and you've been used as a second-class citizen, when you have no value and no one respects you for what you can become, and they stop you right where you are, you're locked in a room with open doors. So we got to make sure that our daughters and our mothers and the women in our church that we're familiar with can help them get delivered from that. That's what your show is doing. That's what your conversation is doing. And the shame of it is that some people will not respect it. They'll just reject it because they are afraid. It takes boldness to do what you did. There's some things that happened in my life. I don't know if I would tell, but I've got delivered from it. And guess what? Like it to you, and like it to others. All right. We refrain from saying some things to keep somebody else from going to jail. Whether it be our fathers, whether it be our mothers, and we all got some stuff. But this is a different situation. This is generational, and how do you get past this generational curse that someone else put in your life? You didn't put it in there, so you had to outgrow it, outlive it.
You're right, and my cousin Eunice, she always likes to come from the historical point of view, and she takes it all the way back to slavery, when we had to be silent, when you better not say nothing when somebody raped your own wife. We know where that stemmed from. But Bishop, I'm going to share a little bit from my book, and I want to invite everyone to get a copy of Why Should I Be Ashamed? And we have a link for you if you'd like a copy. On page 110, Bishop, it says, let me get my glasses, honey. Make it like I can see. Okay. One day, God showed me a vision of an incident that occurred when I was a little child. God brought it back to my memory. I had been sitting in the bathroom, and Laos, who was about 36 at the time, had bent down and peeped through the bathroom keyhole to watch me. I believe in my heart that this incident actually happened, and now God was using it to show me exactly how sick and pathetic Laos really was. The Spirit of the Lord said, look at him. Isn't that sad? A man doing such a thing is not well in his mind.
Right.
This is a man without me. From that day forward, Bishop, I was freed from the hurt and the pain. That was the day of my recovery and forgiveness. I took the revelation of God that God gave me and used it to forgive loss, realizing that a man without God will do anything. I became empowered by the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Right. Got it. Got it. Well, and that's where that deliverance comes from. It comes from his word. And we can give encouraging words, but our words don't have life. Only Jesus Christ gives that life. It's the living word that does that. And once we have that living word, then we can live. But without a living word, we're just living. All right. And my bishop said, in the midst of this COVID thing, he said, we're trusting and adjusting. When you do something that you've done right, taking time to go to pen, write what you wrote, that's trusting and adjusting. No pastor that was down low, and I didn't know until they went to his funeral. And man served well, great man of God, did all of those things great. Then I found out at his death what he was or what he had done, whatever the case may be. That's not my point. My point is that it put even me, made me leery of other pastors that had those indicators, they had those lookalikes. So could you imagine? I walk in a room with freedom because I've never been touched. You walk in a room investigating every room you go in. You can't get rid of that. You can learn how to adjust the volume, adjust your gauge, but that's what we do when we take the innocence of a woman away from her. But God meant to multiply and replenish the earth and love and raise family. We've taken away their innocence. And so now they walk in, everybody's guilty till they prove that they are not guilty. So how do you, I can only imagine if it happened to my daughter or it happened to my wife or anything of that nature, and in my first life, something along the keyhole incident happened to her. And because of that one incident, and that person kept coming in her room and acting like he was in the wrong room and all that stuff. Our first 5 years, it took some work, all right, to get past those incidents that she could never get rid of. And thank God I was able to love her through it. And she found out every man was not like me. And our first child was a daughter, and I had a chance to love both of them through the process, and we made the better for it.
Wow. Well, Bishop, this has been amazing tonight. I appreciate your perspective. It aids in further healing.
Yes.
Because there's layers and layers. Even when I think I'm just totally free, I do get to do a lot of things and live, but there's still layers. And I appreciate you tonight that have impacted our audience tonight, around the world, because people need to send this to people so they'll know there are good men, there are good fathers. I believe that. I believe that, and I have experienced good men, and I thank God for a good husband, and for his patience. When I looked him in his eye and said, "Well, I just gotta let you know, I don't trust nobody with my children. Just let's get this straight before we walk." And he was looking at me like, "Also, you don't do diapers." I messed myself up. You don't do no diapers around here, sir. I don't want nobody touching on my kids' privacy.
My God. I
mean, I was off the chain. Abandonment just felt, because when I told my mother and she didn't see about me, I was looking for him to replace every issue. And if I see, didn't you see didn't you see that girl be mean to me? Didn't you see that dude be mean to me? I wanted him to kill somebody. Then I married a man that had so much compassion for people. He feeling sorry for them. I'm ready. Let's get with the program. And but he loved me through
Right.
my pain, my hurt, and I feel so much better now, and I'm able to help somebody else now and encourage somebody else. And I just want to say thank you so much, Bishop, for being on here with us tonight. And it has been very enlightening. And do you have some final words for us to tell the boys, to tell the women as we close tonight? Thank you so much, Bishop.
Okay. Well, bless you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're going through, but I know one thing, that there is a God that's a deliverer and that he's a healer. Like unto you, bad things that happen in life, but it does not control your destiny. It just moves you away from your past. Destiny is a good thing. The more you reach your destiny, the more you leave your past. And the further you get away from it, the more you get delivered from it. So therefore, if the house has been bad and it got cracks in the foundation, there's leaks in the roof, tell you what to do. Move forward. Watch God deliver you in Jesus' name. We love you. Bless you.
We love you too, Bishop. God bless you. God bless. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Pleasure, honor. God bless you. See you next time until we see each other again, Bishop.
Well, we'll be with you. Love you.
Lottie, everybody tell them I said hi.
Everybody.